Hi. Sorry, I have no music. I'm a little behind today. So we're going to get right into our lesson on the exponent log laws, which is Unit 4, Lesson 10. Lesson 10. Okay? They're very important. And you might see them on the readings exam, you might not. You will see them as you get into higher level math. Very similar to with exponent concepts. So when you look at our exponent concepts, if I can get the pen going, right here, my exponent versions. Remember, if you have the same base and you're multiplying, you add the exponents. If you have the same base you're dividing, you subtract. And then if you have a power to a power, you multiply. Okay, so they're very similar. So the log version is if I have a log base b of x times y. If I want to break them into separate logs with both variables, we kind of distribute the log b through and then put a plus sign because the multiplication becomes addition. So it's log bx plus log by. And then very similar with the division. Division becomes subtraction, and again you kind of distribute through, and you have log bx minus log by. The last one, the power rule, where this base x is raised to the power of y. What happens is the y will come out in front, so I have y times log base b of x. So those are the three laws that we're going to work with today, and we're going to try to remember them, and hopefully working with them will help us remember them. So the first problem, and they're multiple choice, so they give the answers. That's usually how you're going to see it on the readings exam too. So which of the following is equal to log 3 base 3 of 9x? So I guess with our calculators, you can put that in, you can put each one in such that x is 10, x is 20, x is 40, whatever you want. And you have to plug them all in, you get it. Okay, so part one, of course you can do that. The logistics, where the answers come from, is since this is a multiplication problem, we would break it down by addition. Log base 3 of 9 plus log base 3 of x. Now, I took the liberty of already writing these notes out, so if I go too fast, you might have to pause the video a little bit, because like I said, I'm running out of time today. So this is how we broke it down first, and then if you have all numbers, so log base 3 of 9, we did this previously. You could throw it right in your calculator if you want. Okay, log base 3 of 9 is 2 plus log base 3 of x, which is the same as choice 3. Okay, exercise 2, we have the expression log x squared divided by 1,000. So if it is division, okay, by up here by the rules, division becomes subtraction. So I rewrite it as log x squared minus log 1,000. So the log x squared, your power rule, the 2 will come out in front. Log 1,000, put it into your calculator. And there you go. 2 log x minus 3, choice 1. Another way that they show it is they represent log as variables. So a is log 3, b equals log 2. Then which of the following correctly expresses the value of log 12? So we want to break log 12 down into log 3s and 2s. So the first thing we do is rewrite 12 as log 3 times 2 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6, times 2 is 12. Then we do the distributing. So this is kind of in the parentheses like that, and then the logs are going to go to each one. Multiplication becomes addition, and that's what we have. Log 3 plus log 2 plus log 2. Log 3 is A, log 2 is B. Then it becomes A plus B, which is choice 4, A plus 2B. Okay, again, pause it wherever you need to if I'm going too fast. I'm almost done with the first page here, and we're moving right along. The next one's a little tricky. It takes into some concepts that we learned earlier in this unit. with the square root of x, what does that equal? How do we change that? So you follow the same process. Since you have division, it becomes subtraction. So we have log base 2 of square root of x minus, and none of this over here, okay, minus log base 2 of y to the 5th. That's the first thing you do. Division becomes subtraction. Square root of x, we rewrite as x squared. Okay? So we have log base 2 of x squared minus log base 2 of y to the 5th. Now you have two powers. Bring the power out in front, and you have 1/2 log base 2 of x minus 5 log base 2 of y. Okay? Which is choice 3. And so moving along with exercise 5, it's another division problem, another square root. So the square root of 5 is 5 to the 1/2 power. Okay? There it is. Square root of 5, 5 to the 1/2. We have to know how to go back and forth with that. And so you have log base 3, 5 to the 1/2 power, minus log base 3 of 27. Now, what I said is when you have a number, when you have all numbers, you can plug in your calculator and see what happens. Okay? So when we do this, okay, first thing we do is we bring down the 1/2 out in front by the power rule. And then log base 3 of 5. It doesn't turn out to be a whole number, so we just leave it. Plus we leave it because these choices here help you determine that. They all have the log base 3 of 5. So don't evaluate it any further. It's in each choice. Log base 3 of 27, that one you throw in your calculator, and it's 3. Now, 1/2 log base 3 of 5 minus 3 is the same as choice 1. What they do is they have the 3, and since we want to have if you did like this, there's that fraction. So then we would multiply this term by 2 over 2. So you would get the log base 3 of 5 minus 6 all over 2. Okay, so a little confusing. Just be careful with that. Okay, exercise 6. We're moving right along here. See, now they're applying everything that we've learned previously. Here's a composition of functions. So we're taking my g of x and plugging it into the x of f of x. So it should look like log 100x cubed. So if it's helpful, put it in parentheses. Be careful, the only thing being raised to the 3rd power is the x. So then it breaks down to log 100 plus log x cubed. Log base 10 of 100, put in your calculator, is 2. Power rule, bring down the 3. This is a 3 log, not a 31. 3 log x, which is the same as choice 4, 2 plus 3 log x. So, I mean, you see it's over and over the same problem. The readings exam may be one question, maybe one, and that's it. Okay? So just keep practicing with these, and you will get better. Now, the next one's a little tricky, because the difference here is the 32x to the 7th is all under the square root. So I rewrote it like this right here. Log base 2 of 32x to the 7th to the 1/2 power. That's how we rewrite it, because you have the square root. Now, the 1/2, like I said, is raised to the entire 32x to the 7th. So that power rule comes out in front. So then you have 1/2 log base 2, 32x to the 7th. Now we're doing our distribution. So we have 1/2 log base 2 of 32 plus log base 2 of x to the 7th. You have to make sure you keep everything in order. 1/2 log base 2 of 32, put it in your calculator, is 5. And then we have plus 7 log base 2 of x. Now that 1/2 out in front, if you distribute it through, okay, you distribute the 1/2 through, it becomes all over 2. Okay? And that's why it's choice number 2. So the last exercise here, well, the last multiple choice, is exercise 8. It's very similar to the log 12 that we saw on the previous page. So we need to break down this 4,900 such that we have a 7. So you should be able to recognize that 49 times 100 is 4,900. So you have log 49 times 100, which then breaks down to log, and 49 is 7 squared. So log 7 squared plus log 100, because we want this log 7. Power rule, the 2 comes out in front. Okay, this 2 right here comes out in front. 2 log 7 plus 2. Where did that 2 come from? Log 100. Log 100 is 2. Okay, log 7 is k, so 2k plus 1. And then what did they do? They factored out the 2, and you're left with k plus 1. Okay, so 2k plus 2 will factor to the 2 parentheses k plus 1. And I know I might be going a little fast. Slow it down, whatever. Okay, so that way you can see it. Okay, the last one, here it is. The last one, exercise 9. There's the expression using the third logarithm, the product law. So what happens? We bring the x down in front. There's your power. And then the product, log base 2 of 8. Just put in your calculator, and you have 3 times x, which is 3x. Part B says test the equivalency. So what you would do is you would put 0 in, 1 in, and 2 in, put it into this and to this, and it gives you the same answer. Okay, it's just a way to check it. Now it says, how can we do this as rewriting? Okay, I'm bringing the screen back up here, so I can go through this. Okay, here it is. All right, so the first thing we do, I don't like that down. Okay, you can't see it anyways. All right, is I rewrite it like that. Okay, because it says rewriting 8 as 2 to the third. So I have log base 2 of 2 to the third to the x. Power to a power, I multiply. Okay, log base 2 of 2 raised to the 3x power. Now what you're going to learn, okay, and what you're going to have to recognize is once we do the power, once this 3x comes to the front, if you have these two numbers the exact same, log base 2 of 2 is going to be 1. So it gives you 3x. Log base 8 of 8 is going to be 1. Log base x of x is going to be 1. Always. Okay? So then that just becomes 3x. So there's more than one way to solve some of these problems. Okay? All right, well, I think that's it. Again, sorry, no video. No, I have video, no music. So have a good weekend or have a good Monday whenever you watch it, and I'll see you in class.